Hello and welcome to Makerspace Online Workshops. I'm Don, and today we're going to have a look at operating the Roland Vinyl Cutter. So the first thing you want to do is select what kind of vinyl you want to use for your vinyl cut. We have a selection of colors and two types of vinyl. The first kind is a deco vinyl. That's used for signage, for doors, windows, cars, that kind of thing, and it usually has a solid white background to it. The second kind we have is called a heat transfer vinyl. This is used for fabrics, cloths, t-shirts, that kind of thing, and usually has a translucent or milky white back to it. So once you have your vinyl selected, we're going to go over to the Roland machine. This is our Roland vinyl cutter, and in the back you can see this tray. It moves around. But basically we want to take our roll. Now we want to place it right in between the rollers here and put it in the center of the tray. Now we can move the tray around if you need to. Now we want to feed it in through the back here. So just keep that roller straight. We're just going to try to feed it through. It can be a little bit finicky. Sure this is nice and even, lined up. So just feed it through. Okay, so now we're going to line up the rollers here. The rollers have to be in this white tape area. You can see there's just certain areas where the white tape is. So make sure the machine's off so you can move the head around. Just get it out of your way. And you can see I've got the roller. I like to line the black of the roller up to the edge of the vinyl. So you can move the vinyl around, move the rollers around. And you can see we're way over to the left side. We've got to be in the white area. So we're just going to move this roller, kind of the black of the roller, to almost to the edge of the vinyl. And you just grab the roller, you just get your finger in there, and you can push those rollers around. So again, get it up to almost the edge. And then this area here is the sensor. Now the sensor tells us where that it has material. So we want to just pull the vinyl forward to cover that. Just go a little past that area. So putting the vinyl forward. Now just make sure that the vinyl is nice and square. And now we're going to go to the back lever and we're going to pull it up, and that's going to lock the rollers down. So now we can't move things around. Now we'll go over and turn the machine on. And it's just going to start up. The head's going to go to the left side, sorry, the right side. And then you're going to see this roll here. That's great because that's what we want. We're just going down to enter, press enter, and now the machine's actually going to measure the length of vinyl that is cuttable. So we've got 459 millimeters. So now we're going to go over to the PC, open up Vinyl Master. Then we're going to select New Document. And then we're going to go over to the units and select millimeters. And on the width, we're going to type in the number that was on the vinyl cutter. And that's going to give us our cutting area. As far as the height goes, we don't have to worry about that right now. Let's then go up to Import. And just a note here, you do want to bring in an actual drawing file from a program such as CorelDRAW or Adobe Illustrator. You can bring in images, but that's more complicated. Again, now select your logo or artwork. So we're going to go accept the artwork. We're going to place it in the top left corner. And we always want to maximize the cut sheet of the vinyl so we're not wasting vinyl. So if you can do other artwork, or if you want multiples of this artwork, I'm just going to copy and paste some copies of this because we can use more than one. I'm going to paste another copy, and I'm just going to rotate this so it maximizes the sheet of vinyl. And I think I'll just do one more to fill out this space. Copy and paste. So you can see we're a little over the actual length of this. Now we're going to go up to this length and we're going to change the length. Now you can see I've done this wrong. I was actually clicked on an object. You don't want to be on an object, so click off the sheet somewhere. Otherwise it's going to increase the size of your object or move it. So now we're just going to change the length. That looks pretty good. Now we're going to go up to that you see icon, we're going to click on that. Now auto weed and auto speed just help you to weed it better. And then we've got mirror up here. That's if you're doing a heat transfer to t-shirts and that, you can see the images reverse. So make sure that's not on. And that's about it. We're going to go cut now. And this is dialog's going to pop up and proceed with cutting. Say yes. And we're going to go to the machine. Now, just a quick note about the force here. It should be at 100 GF for the standard vinyl. So to change it, you just click on force and use the up or down arrows to go up or down. And for heat transfer, you will have to boost it up. Okay, so when your print is done, you want to drop this lever down so you can pull this forward. See where your print is. And there's a little slot along here. So you're going to have to manually cut this. So just make sure you're low enough down. Take your knife, put it in the slot, hold your finger like this, pull along. And that will cut it. And then you can turn the machine off. Okay, so using a ruler, we want to just find out where our print is. And what you want to do, there's two prints here. So what I want to do is get the same size on each side, because that's going to help line it up afterwards. So I'm going to put a 1/2 inch on each side. And I'm going to put a 1/2 inch at the top, and it looks like that's about right. And I'm going to put a 1/2 inch at the bottom under the last letters. Okay? Now, you'll see why this is important when you're going to line it up after we weed this. So, now we're ready to weed, and we've got a bunch of nails around here, and that's one of the best things you can use to weed. So, first of all, we're just going to take out some of the external part. My advice is you can have the original artwork on a screen or something close by, because you need to know what the negative and the positive is. In other words, we're trying to remove all of the negative. Okay, so the big chunk here. Now the thing with this stuff is it really sticks well to itself. So I try to get it up and out of the way right away. You don't want it to hang down, it will start to stick to itself. So once you get that off, either just throw it on the floor or in the garbage can right away to get it off the tabletop. So you can see that there's a split in this box here. This is the auto weed box around it, and the speed weed is the line that goes right through this. So that just helps us remove the letters better. So what you want to do is go really slow here. I'm going to pull it up. They really stick well to themselves, so you've got to be very careful. Keep this up and out of the way. If it gets too much, you can get a pair of scissors and cut it when you're going along, so you don't have too much to pull. And really watch dots and that, tops of eyes and that kind of thing. Sometimes they like to stick down. Just go slow. If it starts to peel up, you just go backwards a bit and just push it down with your finger. Again, keeping this up out of the way. I've been doing this for a while, so I can go a bit faster. So my rule of thumb is I won't make letters smaller than 1/2 inch, because smaller than 1/2 inch, it's just too hard to weed, and you get into all kinds of problems. So I would limit it to 1/2 inch or larger letters or fonts. Okay, whoa. We just pulled up the eye by accident because it was going too fast and yapping away. So you can see where that goes. And I'm going to adjust that in a bit. Now, if worse comes to worse with when you are weeding and that, you can see I can get this pretty well where it should go, and I'm going to just push it back down. If you do happen to lose one of the letters, you could also just reprint one of the letters and just manually apply it down. So one of the trickier parts is, I guess these are the smaller letters, so getting these little inserts out of here. And again, you want to get rid of these, because if they drop down, they stick to one of these letters, they can ruin the letter basically. Okay, some bigger ones are much easier. Just take your time. Okay, so we have this border here which is going to help me line it up, because we're going to lose this backing at one point. So now we're going to take, basically it's a masking tape, but it's called transfer tape. So we're going to take it over and push it down, and then we want it to lie as flat as possible. Just going to cut it like that. This is when we want the squeegee, and we're going to squeegee it nice and flat. And what we're doing at this point is we want the letters to stick to this masking tape, okay? So make sure it's nice and stuck down, as flat as you can get it, okay? So now what we want to do is cut the transfer tape to the exact size of the white backing paper that's on the decal right now, okay? Because that's how we're going to line it up. So when we're ready to transfer this, we're going to be peeling the back away. And that's why this backing paper isn't going to be there anymore, only this front transfer paper. So these are our lineup areas. So we're going to put like a marking on a door, on your glass, on your car, wherever this decal is going. We need to have some lineup points. You can either mark it with a pencil, or you can use masking tape in each corner to help line this up. Okay, I'm just going to use a piece of MDF just for demo's sakes. But now we're going to peel the backing off. Now, just let me change the direction for 1 second here. You can use a spray bottle if it's on metal or glass or plastic surfaces with just a touch of soap, dish soap in it. And that's going to allow you to move the decal around before squeegeing out all the liquid and letting it set. I prefer not to do this just because I'm worried about a good bond, but it's a way of lining it up. So we're going to remove the backing. Now again, you got to go really slow here because some of the letters may not come up. Again, depending on your size of your letters, your logo, lots of factors, we might have trouble peeling all the letters up. But there it is. You can discard of that. So now I'm going to use this to line this up. It's nice and lined up here, and I'm just going to slowly let it lie down flat. Okay? And this is when we want the squeegee again. And this time we're actually adhering it to the final object, so you really want to make sure this is good. So get in there and just rub the little letters especially. Make sure each letter is nice and secure on the board. Okay. Now we're going to peel this back. And again, if any of these letters start peeling up with the paper, then you want to push the transfer paper down and squeegee it some more. If you have used water, so you can move your decal around a bit, you got to really squeegee this and make sure you get all the water out before you remove the transfer paper. So it's really good to do this low. You can see I'm actually flat when I'm peeling it back, and it seems to be laying down fine. If you want, You can use the backing paper. It's got a glossy surface to help rub it down even more after you've lifted that up without damaging it. It works good for that. Even the start of that. And there we have a decal. Now if there's large bubbles not left in it, you can squeegee it some more. You can also try a needle in the actual bubble and squeegee it some more, and that usually helps. I hope you have found this video helpful, and hope to see you next time.